Greetings, everybody. I'm Brother Francis E. Revels Bay, and I'm here for Clear Blue Radiance. Today is Thursday. Feel like I'm changing in a phone booth. Today is Thursday, February the 16th of 2023. Put that there. So I'm glad to be here today. I wasn't here last week. I wasn't feeling well. I think it has a lot to do with perhaps old man syndromes. Yeah, old. I'm gonna blame it on the old man syndrome. So I'm here for Resonant Essentials YouTube channel with my live podcast, Clear Blue Radiance. I've been a spiritual counselor for over 40 plus years now, and halfway to 50. So I like to be here to help you gain greater clarity in your life, as well as helping you to discover or define or redefine your purpose in life. And as you know, our purpose in life changes as we change. We're constantly evolving all the time. And the more that we see ourselves evolve and change, get better, get clear with our mindset and our heart set, we find ourselves having a golden opportunity to make changes in the world. So, what I want to share with you is a very brief topic. That's why I'm coming on a little late today. I have a lot going on, just like many of you have. So I like to keep it moving and keep us growing. My topic today is let silence be your medicine. That's the first part. Let silence be your medicine and let go of old worries. Now, many of us have these things where, and excuse me, as long as we are in this quote unquote human figure, we're going to find ourselves going through life with a lot of changes. If you find yourself connected, as you should be, in a human format, human condition, you have people who play parts of your bloodline family. We Most of us have had a mom and a dad. Not all of us have had good relationships with the mothers or fathers in our lives. We've had to perhaps graduate and stay connected to grandparents on either side. Maybe we had good connections with siblings, maybe not. So we have to find ourselves where we are, right? As we awaken to this part of who we truly are in life, we have to consciously and constantly seek new starts, new beginnings with ourselves. So bear with me as I give myself a little more light. Everything I'm wearing is in blue today, so I'm looking like I'm a part of the blue group right now. And I shouldn't be, right? So hold on just for a second. One thing about doing things live, you get to experience live things, right? So, as I was saying here, we are consciously going through changes. Now, sometimes when we're going through changes, we might think or feel based on our previous conditions, previous life experiences in the present moment that we're living in, we might assume that it's a great bear for us. And it is because we have what? An emotional connection to everything, to people, environments, history that we have with people, be it a family member or a very close friend. And if you're not connected to your friends or family, you have this communication between your body and their body electrically. Things, as they say in this quantum field, we're all connected, we're all entangled in some kind of way. So you could wake up in the morning, you could feel absolutely happy. And later through the day, as the morning goes on, for some reason, you're feeling sad. You don't know why you're sad. Well, your energy is entangled with other people. And if your level of frequency steps down a little bit, it may step down into another pool of energy that's a little lower than yours, where you start feeling negative thoughts, negative feelings, ups and downs, sadness, melancholy, depression. You're going to feel it. because you can't always shield yourself from everything that's happening. Because if you shield yourself from everything all the time, you're not able to properly read into an energy that may be between you and someone else or you and a group of people. So you have to keep your doors open a little bit. You got to keep your heart chakra open a little bit. There's a lot of things going on in the world. For over a year now, there's the war between Ukraine and Russia that Russia started, basically. You've got all this other stuff that I'm not going to even mention that you know about that's connected to political stuff, our own government. It's connected to, for years and years, missing children, missing people, alcoholic addiction, sexual addiction, drug addictions. All these things are going on around us all the time. We see stuff happening around us all the time. So, what do we do? What can we do? What are we capable of doing? We have to ask ourselves that question. What are we capable of doing? You might walk by and you see, a homeless person, you try to help. You try to reach out, try to give food, not just money, food, not just money or food, clean clothes, trying to do something. But what are you doing for yourself? So, this topic of let silence be your medicine and let go of old worries, it is really a part of self care. That's the buzzword nowadays, self care. The other buzzword is mental health. And those who need mental health care should seek it out. Those who need to speak to a psychotherapist about something that's going on in their own life, seek it out, maintain it, find a good one. So at least you are releasing. What about for people who can't do that? Where do you go? Hopefully, you have a good, solid friend or two that you can sit down and talk to, that you can let go of some things that are on your heart, and things on your mind, on your brain. But what if you don't have that? Many of us have gone in and out. I've At times when I was younger, I sought out therapists. In fact, people who I gave spiritual consultations to, I found out that they were adult ACOAs, adult children of alcoholic counselors. So at that time, I knew my dad was alcoholic. He had long gone past, some 20 years ago when I met these people. I met my dad passed in 1978. I was blessed in 1998 to meet somebody who I was doing tarot readings for. I was helping that person out. I was teaching that person stuff. And then to find out that's the person that could help me. And I spent at least almost a year. I stayed with that person 9 months, and during the course of the 9 months, they sent me to a group. And the sponsor in the group, after I stayed with the sponsor in the group almost 9 months, along with this other one-on-one situation, the sponsor took me aside and said, "This place is not for you." I said, "Why?" "I need a place where I can vent." He said, "Nah, you're not. You're like further up the road. You're already where they're trying to get to." So I had to read. So between the one person that I saw and the group counsel that I saw, I had to learn about codependency. So part of this message is don't become a codependent person. Codependency is when somebody needs to have drama in their life and they pull other people into their life so that person experiences the drama with them. And sometimes that person, on some level, wants to feel needed, that they can help that person. So they allow themselves to get pulled into dramatic situations only to get burnt out. So don't become a codependent person. That's not where you want to be. You can't really help somebody until you help yourself. And then when you help yourself, you got to draw lines. That's very important. If you're not drawing any lines, if you're not defending your lines, your boundaries, then you will be in and out of codependent relationships. People say, well, we're here to fix others. No, we're not. I can't fix somebody else. I can only fix myself. And the way perhaps that I could fix someone else is to stay out of their life as much as I can. Be supportive, but not be in it. You can't be in it and really help, but you can be supportive. So when this topic is let silence be your medicine, what comes to mind? When we think about the word silence, and I'm going to check my notes here. Silence is defined as the complete absence of sound. And what I should do is put this topic in here, right? Let silence be your medicine. So I don't want to miss that. Let silence be your medicine and let go of old worries. And that even includes current worries because we're all find ourselves worried about something. If we're trying to help other people, if we're trying to figure out what path we need to be on, if we're trying to figure out where we need to go in our own lives, then we got a little something to worry about, right? And you have to find a way to clear all of that because if you're not clearing it, then you're going to be caught in it. And you don't need to be caught in it because then you can't truly be of service in a compassionate way, helping other people become free of whatever they're going through. That's why we say you can only be supportive. Now, here's something else in that department because if silence is defined as complete absence of sound, there's two kinds of sounds. Sound as in noise that can be natural, what you could hear in nature. You know, you go outside, you can hear and see bustling life happen, or you might live in a place where you're not on top of a downtown area, village area, city area, and it's quiet. You're just hearing birds chirp and crickets at night and so on and so forth. Dogs barking, cats meowing. These are natural sounds, natural noises. Then there's the man made noise from cars, buses, trucks, trains, planes, construction sites, people in and out of businesses. Those are man made sounds. Now, for some of us, yeah, you can go to a cafe somewhere, you could sit at home and watch a movie by yourself, read a book, sip some coffee or some tea, or take some coffee and tea and water and sit in nature just to be where it's quiet. But can you imagine if you compared this to over 100 years ago? So here we are in 2023. 100 years ago would be what? 1923. Where you have factories for sure, but not on top of the cities or the towns. There's the little ways. Well, we had little towns, you know, the factories and places on one end, and where people live was on the other end. So you go out of your surrounding community and drive on a main road, and then you're in this little two-bit town where you lived, where you heard sound, man-made sounds. Be able to drive out into wilderness area or parks, just catch the natural silence, the natural sounds. Or maybe you were blessed to think about going on a vacation, but it's still not silence, but close. You maybe take a retreat where you can be to yourself in silence, practice silence at a retreat for a week. The only time you engage with anybody in that area is when you arrive and then when you leave. Or maybe you know about an ashram, ASHRAM, ashram. You go there and you study yoga, or maybe you know about yoga, so you're going to participate. Or you go to a Tai Chi place, Qigong place, and you practice quietly. Or you find yourself going to a Zen Buddhist hall, and you just happen to pick the weekend with the Zen monks, practice silence for 3 days and 3 nights. All day Friday, all day Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then they start chit chatting, talking, teaching, engaging come sunrise. Our city and local life is not what we call silent, and we often have to make silence be a part of our lives. Let me repeat that. We have to make silence be a part of our lives. Learning how to sit alone is not an easy task. Many people find it uncomfortable to be seated alone. In fact, many people do not like to sit alone, even at home or most other places. Usually, if you go out and you want to sit by yourself, I know what happens to me. I'll go pick up my packages at another location, and there's a Starbucks there. And I can go in there. Yeah, everybody sees me once a week in there, and they all know me by my first name, which I like going to places where think of the TV show Cheers, where the guy's name was Norm. Norm, and every time Norm came in, everybody said, "Hey, Norm." Why? Because everybody knew him by his first name. And Norm didn't sit at a table. Norm sat at the bar. So people do have places they could go to that are habitual, where you can engage with other people, or you can go to a park, or you can just be elsewhere where you can engage in silence. But of course, it has to be a place where there's no radios, no television sets, no stereos, no computers, no iPads. You don't want to be around anything that emits sound right away. Perhaps the only sound you will hear are the buzz and hum of fluorescent lights, or a breeze as it blows past you, wind. There are many reasons for us to be able to sit in silence, but there are only two. One is a long one that says, gain peace, quietness, and connection with your physical body for relaxation and deep communication with the cells, all the trillions of cells in your body. That's one. Wanting to make that connection with your physical body and the brain and the mind. So that's relaxation of the body and the mind, which is, we talk about the brain, nerve endings there, to relax all of that. And your second reason, which is probably be your foremost reason. The most important is connect with your higher self, which is your divine connection and direct connection with prime infinite source, which is the great I am, from whence you came long ago, from that divine infinite consciousness. That's what you're seeking. You're seeking to go back into the source of infinity, divine source of infinity, where all became one before all split out. Okay. And what is there for you in that moment of complete silence, connecting with your higher self? What is that? Well, there's absolute unconditional love and compassion. But we're not talking about the mushy, mushy, kissy, kissy love. We're talking about that sense where you feel so connected to the divine feminine and divine masculine energy as one. You feel totally at peace, infinite peace, not a care in the world, not a thought hanging around. When you're in the silence, you're in touch at some point with your infinite true self, your divine I am expression, that which is a part of you that knows all things and more, knows the infinite, is not concerned with mundane things, earthly things, material things, financial things. Its only concern is being in a state of absolute peace, harmony, and happiness with your true self. That's where you want to be. You don't want to be someplace else where you are not truly receiving. You don't want to be in a spot where you are not truly receiving love, which is unconditional love. So, no matter what you're doing on the planet, you've got to be able to embrace and receive compassion, grace, forgiveness, gratitude, humility, discipline, creativity, kindness. None of us are quote in that perfect state of mind yet. In that perfect state, there's people who have tons of money, doing well with Bitcoin activity, and they got a nice house and they got a nice car and they got a nice family. But deep down inside, when you are around them, you're feeling something off. Something's ticking away. And you find out later the person's not happy. Just like that entertainer, young guy that was a dancer. I'm not gonna put his name out here. We don't know yet why, but apparently it's said in the news he took his life. Nobody knows, but the shadow knows. Your shadow self, the side of yourself that you don't show to the world, that side knows. You don't feel uplifted, that side of you knows. You don't feel complimented. Sometimes when people dress, they use that phrase, dress to impress. The only person you need to impress is yourself. Get dressed for you. Dress to the hilts, as they say, from head to toe. Do it for you. When I wear my fedoras that I like, it's because I love them. I love the feel of the fedora on my head. I love it. I'm not wearing it to show off to anybody else. I might go take myself out to dinner, breakfast, lunch, and sit down and have my fedora on. I don't care. Why? Because it's an expression of myself, a creative self expression. We all have to find something inside of us that makes us happy. So, can you reach inside yourself and find out what makes you happy? Could you do that now? Find out what makes you happy. Can you reach deep enough? Can you dig deep enough inside your compassionate nature and bring forth more compassion? Grace, the principle, the maximum of grace is not outside yourself, it's a part of you also. Unconditional love is a part of you. Being impeccable with your word and living your word, that's a part of you. Seeking whatever you need to seek to bring a greater blessing into your life, that's a part of you. So you're seeking something that brings you forward into the light of your true self. So join me for a moment here. I don't want this to be a teaching, preaching moment, but just a moment where you could sip on silence. So let's do a little exercise where you're going to sip on silence, which is already inside of you. Silence is going to be your key, silence is going to be your bridge of communication with your higher self. And as you begin to close your eyes, or you can leave them open, you just want to rest in the moment. So you take a word like gratitude and you inhale those words into your consciousness. Let them sift down into your subconscious. I am unconditional love. I am compassion and grace. I am forgiveness and gratitude. I am wellness. I am all that I need to be, but all that I must be in order for the various layers within me, as they get peeled off of me, all I can experience, all I can inhale is divine grace, compassion, wellness, happiness, certainty, infinite vibes, where I no longer feel needy. I no longer am a codependent person. I am a person, I am a being of unconditional love, light, truth, humility, grace, compassion, wellness, and I gather and I embrace all of that into myself. For I am my soul who no longer weeps. I am my soul who is overflowing like a greater chalice with unconditional love. I am all that I need to be and more, but I am that which I say that I am. I am peace. I am harmony. I am happiness. And I am grace. Thank you for listening to me. If you need more information about Resonant Essentials, this is Resonant Essentials YouTube channel. I do my best to be here every Thursday. I'm supposed to come on at 1. I got a little tied up, so I didn't get on to 1:47 p.m. Mountain Time. But I want you to know that to gain more information, you could go to www.resonant, RESONANT as in Tom, essentials, ESSEN, TIALS.com. And when the page opens up, it says Resident Essentials on a beautiful lavender color, magenta lavender lotus. And when that page opens up, click on practitioners and see all the new practitioners that are there with the owner, Michelle Vidal. Click on schedule, see what kind of schedules we have of classes and courses going on. Click on events, lots of new events happening. You can join this page right here on YouTube as a member, as a subscriber. You can go on Facebook and join up on Resonant Essentials Dash the group and get there and meet all the different metaphysical spiritual people and teachers that are there and find out the different events that are going on. We just had a psychic fair on Sunday, psychic healing fair that was packed out. It started at 12, but I had to start at 11:30 because people were there and just getting through. Everybody was busy. So you want to come there and you want to enliven yourself. We have all kind of courses, all kind of practitioners in there from Tuesday through Saturday, from 12 noon to 4 or 5 p.m. When the summertime hits, they'll probably stay open till 5. There are different courses in motion there. Uh, Mastering Metaphysics is a beta. I think is a 13-week or 11-week beta course that already started. I don't know if she's taking any more people. That's the teacher and the author of that book and the owner of Resident Essentials. That's Michelle Vidal. She's there on Tuesdays, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And you would have to get in touch with her. So you need to come to Resident Essentials or email her, Michelle, Michelle, at resonantessentials.com, and she'll get back in touch with you and let you know what else is going on. We got a lot of practitioners. I'm there on Saturdays normally, there on Saturdays from 12 to 1 p.m. for 1 hour creative path work meditation in group format. So I'm going to sign off. I have other duties and skills and responsibilities to refer to now. But thank you very much for tuning in to Clear Blue Radiance, and I hope to be back here on time next Thursday. Take care of yourself, as they say, with God's speed, or I'm going to say with the speed of grace and divine love, unconditional love. May you be well. My grace is your grace. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we're alive and well in the age of remembrance. Look forward to see you soon. And please go to www.resonantessentials.com and check out the practitioners. They have their schedules there, they have their contact numbers, and get in touch and get you some good care. Okay? Take care now. See you soon.